Most people think the biggest winners of the AI boom are loud. They think it's the apps, the headlines, the founders everyone talks about. But the most powerful company in the AI era didn't chase attention. For years it was ignored. While others competed for users, one company quietly positioned itself underneath everything. Not building the future people could see, but the infrastructure the future couldn't exist without. When the AI wave finally arrived, this company didn't rush. It didn't pivot. It absorbed demand. And the man behind it didn't win by moving fast. He won by choosing where leverage would eventually bottleneck. This is the story of Jensen Huang and how quiet infrastructure became modern wealth. For years, NVIDIA was just another tech company. It didn't dominate headlines. It didn't promise to change the world overnight. It wasn't a consumer brand everyone talked about. Yet today, NVIDIA sits at the center of one of the largest wealth shifts in modern history. Not because Jensen Huang predicted every trend, but because he understood something most people don't. Wealth doesn't flow to noise. It flows to infrastructure, and infrastructure is the highest form of leverage. Jensen Huang didn't grow up surrounded by Silicon Valley privilege. He immigrated to the United States as a child, worked ordinary jobs, learned discipline early. There was no viral success, no overnight breakthrough. What he developed instead was patience, and patience is underrated leverage. While others chased fast wins, Jensen learned to think long-term, not about products, about where value would eventually bottleneck. When NVIDIA was founded in the early 1990s, the future looked very different. CPUs dominated computing. Graphics were considered secondary and almost cosmetic. Most people thought GPUs were niche. Jensen disagreed. He believed that parallel processing, doing many calculations at once, would matter more over time than raw sequential speed. This wasn't a popular bet, but leverage rarely is. NVIDIA didn't try to win by selling to everyone. It focused on becoming essential to a small but growing problem. That problem was scale. For decades, NVIDIA didn't explode, it compounded. While competitors pivoted, merged, or disappeared, NVIDIA stayed focused on one thing: becoming irreplaceable. This is a lesson most people miss. Wealth doesn't require constant motion. It requires strategic stillness. Jensen didn't chase trends, he built foundations. Here's where the story becomes important for today. AI didn't suddenly appear, it was always limited by compute. Models couldn't grow without hardware capable of training them efficiently. Jensen saw this early. He didn't try to build AI applications. He built the roads AI would have to travel on. That's leverage. When everyone else competes at the surface level, infrastructure owners collect value quietly underneath. When AI finally reached an inflection point, NVIDIA was already there. Not scrambling, not reacting, ready. Suddenly, every major AI system required NVIDIA hardware, not because of hype, because of necessity. This is what real leverage looks like. When demand arrives, you don't chase it, you absorb it. Jensen Huang didn't get rich because AI became popular. He got rich because he positioned NVIDIA where intelligence would bottleneck. He asked better questions than most people. What will everyone need, regardless of which trend wins? What sits beneath the noise? What compounds even if I'm wrong in the short term? Those questions built quiet dominance, because while most people were focused on outcomes, he was redesigning inputs. While others chased visibility, he optimized invisibility. The parts of the system nobody applauds, but everyone depends on. This is where real wealth is formed. Not in moments of applause, not in viral wins, but in decisions that look boring in the short term and unstoppable in the long term. The truth is, wealth doesn't respond to urgency. It responds to alignment. When effort, timing, and leverage align, progress accelerates without noise. That's why the most dangerous competitors are often the quietest ones. They're not trying to win attention. They're trying to win positioning, and positioning compounds. Most people misunderstand what leverage really is. They think leverage is money, or influence, or working harder than everyone else. But leverage is simply this: using the same unit of effort to produce exponentially larger results. That's it. And every era rewards a different form of leverage. There was a time when leverage was land. Owning it meant control. Then leverage became machines. Factories replaced muscle. Then it became information. Those who controlled knowledge scaled faster than those who didn't. Today, leverage has shifted again, not to effort, not to hours, but to decision velocity, the speed at which you can test ideas, eliminate bad ones, and double down on what works. And this is where most people fall behind, not because they're lazy, but because their systems are outdated. They're playing a modern game with old rules. Think about this carefully. Two people can work the same number of hours, read the same books, have the same level of intelligence. Yet one compounds, and the other stalls. The difference is not discipline, it's leverage architecture. One person builds systems that remember, systems that automate, systems that reduce friction. The other relies on willpower, and willpower doesn't scale. This is why rebuilding after loss is revealing. When resources are abundant, inefficiencies hide. When resources disappear, only systems remain. That's why collapse often creates clarity. You stop asking, "How do I do more?" and start asking, "What should never require me again?" That shift alone separates operators from laborers. The highest earners in every generation eventually reach the same realization. If something requires your constant presence, it is not an asset, it is a liability. True assets function without permission. They execute whether you're watching or not. That's why real wealth builders obsess over repeatability, scalability, and feedback loops. Not motivation. Motivation is fragile. Systems are durable. This is also why copying outcomes never works. You can copy what someone bought. You can copy what they invested in. You can even copy their routines. But without understanding their leverage stack, you're imitating shadows. The leverage stack is invisible. It's the combination of skills that compound tools that accelerate decisions that remove friction. And once built, it creates an unfair advantage that looks like luck from the outside. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Most people don't fail because they lack opportunity. They fail because they build lives where every gain requires renewed effort. Nothing compounds, nothing scales. Nothing detaches from them. So even progress becomes exhausting. That's not a motivation problem, that's an architecture problem. This is why modern wealth looks different. It's quieter, more asymmetric, less tied to location and hours. The winners aren't working harder, they're designing environments where effort multiplies. They ask, what decisions repeat? What processes can be externalized? What thinking can be automated? And they build from there. At this level, wealth stops being about income. It becomes about optionalities. Options to move, options to wait, options to say no. And optionality is power. Not because it looks impressive, but because it removes urgency. And urgency is the enemy of good decisions. Look closely at anyone who sustains success across cycles. They don't chase trends. They don't panic during downturns. They don't overextend during booms. They stay liquid, mentally and structurally, because they've built systems that absorb shock. That's the real definition of resilience. This is where most people get it wrong. They think wealth is about adding more income streams, more projects, more commitments. But sophisticated builders do the opposite. They subtract. They remove complexity. They eliminate dependencies. They narrow focus, because clarity scales faster than chaos. And this brings us to the core lesson. Wealth is not built by intensity, it's built by structure, by designing a life where learning compounds, decisions improve with time, effort produces leverage, not fatigue. That's why some people accelerate in their 30s and 40s while others slow down. One group built systems, the other kept sprinting. Here's the final shift. Once you understand leverage, you stop asking, how do I get rich? And start asking, how do I design something that grows without me? That question changes everything. It changes what you work on. It changes what you ignore. It changes how you measure progress, and once you see it, you can't unsee it, because wealth at its core is not money, it's control over time, decisions, and direction. And the people who master that don't look busy, they look calm. That calm isn't confidence, it's architecture, and that is the real wealth lesson. Wealth is not magic, it's not timing, it's not luck, it's discipline, strategy, and leverage over time. Follow these principles. Think long-term, diversify intelligently. Let compounding work control risk, not emotions. This channel exists to help you make smarter financial decisions, not get rich fast. If you want more strategies, deep dives into stocks, AI, and systemized investing and tools to grow your wealth intelligently, subscribe to Wealth Blueprint, because financial success is a system, not a moment.